Okay, this is page 27, and this is the homework section. I do want you to be completing the homework section so that you have extra practice. The more practice you do, the better you will get at math, and that goes for everything as well. Each rectangular prism is built from centimeter cubes. State the dimensions and find the volume. So it is a review of the problem set. If you can do this by yourself, then yeah, definitely try. If you can't, then make sure you're still following along and listening so you know what you're doing. So the length is how long something is. So I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is my length. I'm going to multiply that. Next, I have my width, which is how wide something is. I have 1, 2. So I'm multiplying times 2. And then my last one, I am multiplying times the height, which is how high something is. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is my height. So multiplying times 4. I know that 5 times 2 is equal to 10, and 10 times 4 is equal to 40. So I have 40 centimeters cubed as my final answer. Moving on to problem B. Okay, so I'm going to count again. I have my length, which is how long something is. 1, 2, 3. And then I have my width, which is how wide the object is. So 1, 2 is my width. And then my height, which is how high the object is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So multiplying times 5. I know that 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 5 is equal to 30. So I have 30 centimeters cubed as my final answer. Now I'm moving to problem C. Now this one, look at it. It's kind of tilted a different way to confuse you. So length. I'm going to measure how long my measurement is, our object is. 1, 2, 3, 4 for my length. Then I'm multiplying it times my width. So width is how wide my object is. And if you can see right here, it is 2. 1, 2. And then I am multiplying my height, which is how high my object is. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know that 4 times 2 is equal to 8, and 8 times 4 is equal to 32. Make sure you guys are practicing your extra math. If you haven't been, I still get my weekly report, so I am checking for students who are completing that and students who have not. So make sure you are doing your extra math. Next, I have another rectangular prism, so I'm going to count my length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is my length. And I'm multiplying it times my width. So how wide my object is. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm multiplying times my height. So I'm counting how high my object is. 1, 6, let me use a different color. 1, 2, 3. 8 times 3 is 24, and 24 times 3 is equal to 72. So I have 72 centimeters cubed. For problem 2, it says write a multiplication sentence that you could use to calculate the volume for the rectangular prism in problem 1. Include the units in your sentence. So all these units were centimeters, so I should make sure I include centimeters. And a multiplication sentence is just like this. That's what you've been writing. So I need to make sure I'm writing my multiplication problem. Going to do A. A, I'm going to show you right here, is 5 times 2 times 4, right? So I'm going to do the same thing. 5 centimeters times 2 centimeters times 4 centimeters is equal to 40 centimeters cubed. And then problem B is right here. So I'm going to write 3 centimeters times 2 centimeters times 5 centimeters is equal to 30 centimeters cubed. And then problem C. have it right here. 4 centimeters times 2 centimeters times 4 centimeters is equal to 32 centimeters cubed. And the last one I have right here, 8 centimeters times 3 centimeters times 3 centimeters is equal to 72 centimeters cubed. Okay. Now I'm going to turn the page. We are now on page 28 right here. Number 3 states that calculate the volume, again volume, of each rectangular prism. Include the units in your numbered sentences. And as I said before, units tell me the measurements. So centimeters, inches, meters, liters, right? All of those are considered units. We've talked about it before. So right here, we find the volume. So I'm going to write 8 inches times 4 inches times 8 inches is equal to what? I know that 8 times 4 is equal to 32, and 32 times 8 is going to give me 256 inches cubed. Okay, now the next one, same thing. I'm going to multiply 10 meters times 7 meters times 3 meters. Okay, I know that 10 times 7 is equal to 70 meters, and I'm multiplying it times 3. I know that 7 times 3 is equal to 21, and out of my 0, I have 210 meters cubed as my final answer. Now, problem 4. Mrs. Johnson is constructing a box in the shape of a rectangular prism to store clothes for the summer. It has a length of 28 inches, a width of 24 inches, and a height of 30 inches. What is the volume of the box? So I'm picturing a lady, Mrs. Johnson. She's making a box. Constructing means to make or build a box in the shape of rectangular prism. So like before, I'm going to draw my rectangular prism. And I know that the length, or how long it is going to be 28 inches. And I also know that the width, or how wide this box is going to be 24 inches. And then the height is 30 inches. So Miss Tran did not draw a box that really accurately shows what it looks like, but you guys can kind of get the idea that it's a rectangular prism. This would have been a little wider, and also right here, 30 inches would have been a little higher too. So I'm going to multiply all of these numbers together in order to get the volume. Okay, so I'm going to multiply 28 times 24 times 30 in order to get my final answer. My final answer is going to be 20,160 inches cubed. I'm not going to go over multiplying the numbers together because if I remember correctly, that was module 1. So you guys should know how to multiply long and 2-digit numbers. If you don't, please let me know and I can show you. Problem 5. Calculate the volume of each rectangular prism using the information that is provided. So I need to make sure that I am calculating the volume for these answers right here. So the first one, I know that volume is equal to length times height times width. Okay, and right here the face area, the area is what they're talking about. Area is equal to base times height. Is 56. So right here I'm going to multiply 56 and I'm going to multiply 4 meters, the height. Okay. So 56 times 4 is going to give me 224 meters cubed. And on the bottom, same thing, they give me the area. And remember I told you area is equal to base times height. And the volume, as I've mentioned earlier, is equal to length times height times width. Okay, so I already have this number right here, 169 square inches. So I'm going to write that number down, 169 square inches, or inches squared. And I'm multiplying it times 14 because that is my height. And when I multiply those numbers together, I'm going to get 2,366 inches cubed. I'm going to show you how to multiply this one, just in case. So I have 169 and I'm multiplying it times 14. I don't think this is enough space. I'm going to move it up a little bit. I'll move it right here. 169 times 14. Okay, so I'm going to draw my lines so that I know they are separated and it helps me stay organized. I know that 9 times 4 is going to give me 36. 4 times 6 is equal to 24. 24 plus 3 is equal to 27. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is going to give me 6. Bring down my 0. 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 6 is 6. And 1 times 1 is 1. Add all my numbers together. 6 plus 0 is 6. 7 plus 9 is 16. 6 plus 6 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. 1 plus 1 is 2. So I get 2,366 inches cubed. Make sure you guys are showing your work when you're doing your math. Okay, and that is all for math for today. I hope you guys understand it. If you're not understanding it, please make sure you're doing your Zearn, your Khan Academy, and your extra math. And if you have any questions for me, you can always email me, you can message me, just let me know you're not understanding something so I can go over it with you. Thank you. Bye, you guys.